Hi everyone, my name is Becca. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm here with another weekly reading check-in for August. We're in week 3 now, so we just have to talk about what I read over the last week, also what I watched and played, which really wasn't a lot. So what I watched was just Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really just watched a few episodes of that. I'm in part 4 now. Really loving it still. It's so good. Part 4, we're starting to we're coming up to a lot of revelations and things like that, and it's starting to like really get good right now. It's been good throughout, but it's starting to like really get good, and I'm starting to really love it. So that's just the anime I've been watching on Netflix. That's really it for what I've been watching. I haven't watched anything else lately. I've been meaning to, but haven't gotten the time, or, you know, work it's been a lot. Also I've been trying to read a lot too. Other than that, I've just been playing Final Fantasy XIV and Dead by Daylight with my friends. That's pretty much it. Final Fantasy XIV, I took a long break from, and I'm back at it now, and I'm just having a really fun time again. And there's events happening right now that we're just having a really fun time, like getting new stuff and things like that, and it's fun. And I'm glad that I took that break, and I'm glad that I'm back in it and I'm having fun again, because it was a while where I just wasn't having any fun. Felt like I was just forcing myself to play just to be with my friends, and now I'm just glad I took that break. Dead by Daylight, still having fun getting chased by a killer. And sometimes we play custom games where I could be a killer and chase them. I suck at being a killer, for sure. I'm not the best survivor either, but I feel like I'm better at surviving than I am at killing, so there is that. So that's it. That's really all I've been doing other than reading and working and sleeping. So yeah. So let's talk about the books that I read this past week. We'll start with the ones I was currently reading, which first one was Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover, the second book in the Maybe series. First book being Maybe Someday. I talked more about this in the last video because I was currently reading it at the time, and I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 stars. I like that we got Maggie's perspective in this, and we got a love interest for Maggie, because I feel like she really did deserve it. And I like the fact that Maggie, I went back and forth with her. There were times I really enjoyed her and I understood her, and it was just like I wanted more for her. I really did. And then there were times where she just really pissed me off, and I was just mad and I wanted her to stop. But I also liked the fact that she owned up to what she was doing and how she was feeling, and it just, she had like a reasoning for it. It wasn't a good reasoning, but it was a reason. And I like the fact that she wasn't, you know, it wasn't just thrown away. It wasn't just easily forgivable. And yeah, she definitely had some apologizing to do, but I mean, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. This definitely takes place right after Maybe Someday, so like we jump right back in to where we left off. It was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. So 4 stars. The other one I was currently reading was Seasons of the Storm by Ellie Casamano. And again, this one I talked more about in the last video, so I'm only going to talk about my feelings for this one as well. But this was good. I gave it 4 stars again. I wanted to love this more. I wanted to give it 5 stars. When I heard about it, I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to love this book with everything in me. And I did really enjoy this book. I really enjoyed the romance, and I enjoyed the plot, and I really liked seeing where this was going to go. But I didn't overall love it. Like, it didn't blow me away or anything. It was still really good, and I gave it 4 stars. But yeah, there were times where I was just like, that could have been better. But it was still overall really good. Still really highly recommend it. And I don't think, oh no, there will be a sequel. If I remember correctly, there will be a sequel. That's if I remember correctly. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I looked this up, here, you know what? I have my iPad here. Why not just use that? Yeah, because it says number 1. So yeah, Seasons of Chaos is coming out next year. So there will be a sequel. Don't know if it'll be the same characters and everything, but that ending really shocked me too. So just gonna leave that at that. And then after that, I picked up Skip Beat, my manga series, volumes 1 through 3. Also, I should say this was for a Newts prompt. This was for Set in Winter, which pretty much counted. This was the prompt after that, so this was for Charms. Yes. So Charms exam, Set in Winter, Charms exam, read a manga. So this one I've talked so much about before because I absolutely love this manga series and I just wanted to start rereading it and getting back into it. Seriously, I hate these phone calls so much. I really wanted to get back into it, and so I decided that I'm just going to start rereading it again, and try and just reread at least one of these a month. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so this is Skip Beat by Yoshi Nakamura. This is the 3-in-1 edition, so we have volumes 1 through 3, and we follow Kyoko, who, when she was younger, she lived in Kyoto, and she lived at this inn with this family that ran it, and her mother left her there when she was really young, and so she's just been learning the ropes of this inn. And the son of this family was always meant to run this inn with for his family. You know, they would retire and he would run it. But he never wanted to do that. He wanted to go to Tokyo and make it big in show business, and you know, he wanted to be this like big time singer and musician. And so when they're like 16 or 7, I think they're like 16 or so, maybe even I don't know. When they're, you know, later on their teenage years, he asks Kyoko to come with him to Tokyo, and she has been in love with him for so long. She's had such a huge crush on him, and she's just so happy that he chose her out of anybody else, and so she immediately says yes, even though they just graduated junior high. Now I remember. So they hadn't even gone into senior high, so they weren't even, so they were like 15, maybe even 14. I don't remember exactly how that went. But yeah, they haven't even gone into senior high, which I believe is like high school, right? Junior high, I mean, would be middle school, right? Okay. So she immediately follows him to Tokyo, ends up getting 2 jobs to support him and his lifestyle. And so they end up getting this like apartment. Sorry, let me just do that. Ends up getting this apartment that's like this lavish apartment that they really don't need, but he wanted. And she works 2 jobs in order to support his ass, and he's not really there. But she doesn't care because she loves him and she'll do anything for him. This is what she looks like first, by the way. And then one day she realizes that he was using her because he just wanted some kind of housekeeper there. He wasn't in love with her or anything. He didn't really even care if she went with him or not. He just wanted someone who'd be able to cook and clean and work for him. And this unleashes this whole box of evil emotions, just anger. And she hates him now. She wants her revenge. She is so pissed off, and all of her love and everything is just gone. And so the only way to get her revenge on him is to go and make it big in show business, and make it become even more famous than him. So she decides to change her look and find an agency that will just take her in and allow her to be, you know, become famous and stuff like that. So found it. She ends up meeting Ren, who is the most famous person in show business right now. He's like the sexiest man alive kind of thing. And Sho hates him because he's so famous. And he's even more famous than Sho. And Ren ends up going finding a job in the same agency as Ren. And at first she hates Ren because, you know, Sho has always hated Ren, so she has always hated Ren. And then she's like, wait, I shouldn't hate him because I hate Sho, so, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And then she tells Ren her motive for, you know, trying to become famous, and oh man, does he hate it. And so he kind of makes things a little bit difficult for her, and she just hates him all over again. This is, by the way, how Ren looks. I love him. So yeah, later on in the series, I think they definitely do start to become friends. I've read so many volumes, it's been a while though, but if I remember correctly, they do start to come a little bit like friends. It's so good though. I love it. This series makes me smile, laugh, cry, makes me sad, makes me angry, makes me happy. It gives me all of the emotions in each volume, and I just absolutely love it. When she uses her like her evil spirits, it's just weird. I don't know, you can kind of see it in like this one. There's like evil spirits that are just like her emotions. She uses them and it's just so funny. Also, she makes these curse dolls of Sho and Ren because she hates them both so much. She hates Sho more than she hates Ren. Oh, if I can find this like one image. Oh, it's hilarious. It's when she's at home, and that's not good. It's just when she's at home. Where is it? Oh, she has these posters of them. You can't really tell, but she has these posters of them. Like, there's a poster of Sho, and right next to the poster of Sho is technically a little smaller poster of Ren. So they get bigger with how she feels about them. So like, she hates Sho, so his is gonna be huge, and then Ren, she hates just slightly less than Sho, so his is just gonna be a little bit smaller. But they get slightly bigger though with each time, and it's so funny, and I absolutely love this. So 5 stars to that, always and forever. And then along with that, because I try to read an ebook and a physical book at the same time, so along with reading that, I was reading The Player Next Door by K.A. Tucker. This was not in my TBR at all. I just picked it up because I love K.A. Tucker's writing, I really do. And The Simple Wild is still one of my very favorite romance books ever. So I wanted to read this because I know this is her newest one, and it looks good from just this, and I like the title, The Player Next Door. And this is about Scarlett and Shane. They used to go to high school together. They used to date for like a summer, and then Shane just immediately breaks it off at the end of the summer, and the beginning of the school year starts dating another girl. And Scarlett is just hurt and betrayed, and she just doesn't know what to feel. She's just so completely upset because she felt like she was falling in love with Shane, and she thought Shane was falling in love with her. They were 17, but still, and he just breaks it off, and goes to this new girl, and she's just pissed, but she's also like really upset. And so she graduates high school, she leaves, but years later she's returned back to the small town. I'm sorry, this is set in small town. She returns back to their small town, and she finds a house that she's always wanted to live in, and so she moves in there. She finds out that her next door neighbor happens to be her ex. And this just sets her off on all of her feelings and emotions and just what she's supposed to be feeling. She still has feelings for Shane. She'll always still have feelings for Shane, but Shane hurt and betrayed her, and so she doesn't really know how to feel towards him because all she really feels is that anger and that hurt inside of her. And Shane still has feelings for her, and he wants to, you know, really get together with her again, and she doesn't want to get hurt like that again. So It's really just this whole angst and drama and this chemistry between them. It's just so good. It's so good. Shane has a son who's younger. Oh, and Scarlett works as a teacher. Shane is a fireman. Scarlett came back to this small town to become a teacher at her old high school. And she finds out that one of her students happens to be Shane's son. So even if she could think, you know, just like think about them getting back together, just, you know, dream about that, his son is her student. So everything will just be even more awkward. But obviously things start happening and it's just really good. And I gave it 4 stars, but it's more like a 4.5 star. It's just so good. I highly recommend that one. That one and Simple Wild are like my 2 favorites by her. I mean, that one I could see myself rereading right now. I absolutely love that book. It was so good. I thought about giving it 5 stars for like a moment, but it just didn't reach Simple Wild 5 stars for me. You know what I mean? So that's like a 4.5 star, but still so good. Okay, after that, so we finished the Charms Newt's exam, so now we're moving into her biology exam. But the first prompt for that is to read a book with flowers on the cover, and I chose Pinch of Magic, even though I can't really tell if these are flowers, but we're just going with it, okay? They're more like plants, but we're going with it. And this is about 3 sisters and their family curse. So these 3 Wittershin sisters, Betty, Fliss, and Charlie, they have been stuck in this town ever since they were born. And their granny would never let them leave this town. They never knew why. And then they find out that they're cursed to only be able to stay in this town. If they leave the town, they die. So now it just, you know, strikes this whole adventure of trying to figure, like journey of trying to figure out how to break this curse. They also find out that they've inherited these 3 magical objects: a traveling bag, these like Russian nesting dolls, and a mirror. And each sister gets one of these magical objects, and they have to use these objects for certain reasons for a certain journey. And I can't really go into too much about this because it'll really spoil a lot, because a lot of this happens kind of like towards the end, or like in the middle towards the end. Their curse is also connected to this witch that died over a century ago, and they have to figure out why they're connected to her, why it's connected to her, and why this all happened and how it happened, stuff like that. You do get to learn more about that witch, which I think was probably my favorite part of this book. It was just learning more about her. I did really enjoy the familial aspect of this book as well, and how it's just really about family and the 3 sisters looking out for each other. And I really did love that too. But to be honest, there really wasn't a whole lot in the first half. The second half is really where it all like really picks up. But the first half is just learning that they're cursed, and trying to learn more about the curse and trying to figure out, you know, why and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely the middle towards the end is where it really picks up. I thought when reading this, because it says 3 sisters trapped by an ancient curse, 3 magical objects with the power to change their fate. Will they be enough to break the curse, or will they lead the sisters even deeper into danger? I was kind of hoping there'd be a journey to find the objects, but there wasn't. They were just given to them by their granny, which is fine. I don't know, I wanted more of a journey. You do get kind of a journey towards the end, but that was really it, and it kind of disappointed me a little bit. I ended up giving this like a 3.5 star, but on Goodreads I just put it as a 3. I wanted to love this more than I did. I don't even know how the sequel is supposed to really tie into this, because I think this wrapped up pretty well in my opinion, but I don't know really what the sequel's about. And I mean, it was fine, it was good. I am kind of interested to see what the sequel's about, but I'm not as interested into just picking it up right now. I just wanted to love this more, and it's sad, but I did enjoy like the history aspect. I did enjoy learning about that witch, and why the curse is connected to her. I did enjoy that aspect of it. But yeah, this is more like a 3.5 star. And then sadly, so is the next one. The final book I kind of just completed last night, was Slay by Brittany Morris. This has really good discussions. Oh my god, I don't really feel like I can do this justice by explaining what the synopsis is about, but I'm going to do my best. So we follow Kira, who is Black. She's in high school. I don't remember exactly. I think she's 17. Could be wrong. I think I'm just throwing that out there. But she's Black, and she goes to this school that's predominantly white. She used to go to a school that was predominantly Black, or I don't know if it had only black kids going to the school, but her father ended up getting this promotion or new job, something like that, and they ended up moving to a new neighborhood and going to this new school that's predominantly white. So it's really only her sister, and her boyfriend that I can remember that are only Black at the school. I could be wrong, there could be more. We just don't know them, we don't interact with them, and really I don't think they're talked about, if there even is any more in there. So really this whole thing is about, this book is about a video game that Kira made called Slay. And it's a video game that is for the Black community. This is, how should I say this? So Kira has loved video games all her life pretty much, and she's loved playing games with her friends. But she's noticed that in all of these games, there is either no Black representation at all, like no change of skin color, they're all really white, or there is an avatar with a different skin color, or you can change your skin color, but it's only for like a dwarven character, like it's more of a useless character really. And that's not right. It's not right at all. So Kira decides to make a video game where her and the rest of the Black community can go into a game without being, frowned upon, and another game. She was even explaining that when she was going into these other games, that there would be lynchings. Like, there would be these, like, mobs of white people just, like, lynching other Black characters. And that's so fucked up. I got angry, like, so angry just learning about that. And, like, I definitely understand why Kira would want to make a video game for just her and the fellow Black community. There's also, like, really good discussions in this book about, like, Kira not, being the vocal standpoint for all Black people everywhere. And, like, how her white friends would come up to her and ask her, like, these questions, like, am I allowed to wear dreadlocks? Do you think you're allowed to wear dreadlocks? Like, why are you asking me? Kind of thing. And it really just strikes up this discussion, of, like, how white people interact with Black people sometimes. So, I hate racist motherfuckers, I really do. But also, like, this really strikes up a discussion in this, I didn't even really get to the point of the plot. Oh my god, I'm, like, sucking at this. But the plot really is, Kira designed this game, and, this game has been going on for years, and then one day, this boy ends up being murdered over a dispute in this game. And how, now, like, her game is all over the media, and how it's being, construed as racist because they don't allow whites into this community, into this game. And how, the only way you're able to even, like, be able to create an account for this game or even get into this game is if you get a code from, like a referral code from someone who's already been playing it. So, of course, it's all out there, and like there's this huge discussion on whether or not this is racist or not, which is just bullshit. But, you know, okay. Fucking white people. Which I know I'm white, but still. So, like, this book definitely made me angry at times, and I did appreciate, you know, like, the discussions and, you know, everything that was happening in this book, and definitely a thing that happened in this book was just definitely shocking to me. Because I didn't really see it coming, and I thought I would see it coming, but I didn't. This book I only read in like 2 days. I did really enjoy it, and I gave it a 3.5 star. I read it while I was reading this. The thing is that there were times that Kira could kind of upset me. You know, she was lying to everyone around her because of this video game, because she doesn't want anybody to know that she created this video game or that she plays this video game. And so she would just create all these lies, and that really got to me. But also, like, there's just some things that, you know, I'm white and I don't really understand. And I wanted to appreciate more, and I just couldn't. So I gave this 3.5 star. I definitely recommend this book to everybody. Especially like if you play video games, like I feel like you could really appreciate this book. But really just read this book just for the discussions alone. It was very good. I did enjoy it a lot, and I gave it 3.5 stars. And I will be picking up more from Brittany Morris whenever I find another book. I think that was her debut. If not, I will definitely try to be picking up more from her in the future. Okay, so other than that, I just have a couple more books. Well, I have a book that I'm currently reading and a book that I will definitely be starting soon. So the book that I'm currently reading is my last book for Herbology, which is The Beast by J.R. Ward. This only is for the prompt. The final prompt is to just read a book that's longer than the one that you previously read, which would Slay, and that was like 300 pages. This is over 500, so this works perfectly. And this one Mary and Rage again. It's just another book focusing on their characters, which I really enjoyed the second book in the series, which focused which was their first book that was focused on them. So this is this is like what, book number 14. So we're finally going back to them, and it's so far I'm only like 15 pages in, so I can't tell you too much, but I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying being back with them, so we're gonna see how that goes. I don't really know like what's gonna happen with them, but we're gonna see. And then after that, I definitely need to start reading Stormcrow by Kaylin Josephson. This is only one of the 2 books that I picked from my bucket of BookTubers' favorite books of 2019. This one and Middle Game, and I haven't picked up either of them. I had to get physical copies because my dumbass had to wait until I got paid for the books. I should have just bought them right then when I saw they were cheap on Kindle, but they were only on sale on Kindle for a short period of time, which I should have known. So they went up in price, but I was able to find them at my physical library because they opened. So I've got Stormcrow and I've got Middle Game. So I will definitely be starting this one, and then Middle Game I'll start next week. And then I also have to read Blood Vow, which is after The Beast. So I have 4 books left on my TBR. I think that's all I have left. And then I'm done. And I only have pretty much like, what, another 10 days before the end of the month. So I really got to get cracking on reading. 4 books isn't that bad. I think I could do it. I really think I could do it. Especially since 2 are ebooks and 2 are physical. So I'll be fine. But yeah, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you again with another. Thank you so much. Happy reading and stay safe, guys.